pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bow our head for prayer. Lord, we'd like to thank you for your guidance in our country for 250 years, all the challenges that we've had and all the challenges that we will have. Please pray for our country. Lastly, Lord, I'd like to pray for the men and women who serve our country, home and abroad, to protect our freedoms to have these meetings. In your name we pray. Amen. Reading and approval of minutes.
Motion to approve and suspend reading.
Motion by Mr. Hack. Second by Mr. Weaver. Any discussion? None? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Approval of the agenda. I have one change, the remove expedition estates.
Make a motion to strike expedition estates from the agenda and approve the rest as presented.
Motion by Mr. Polvitz. Second. Second by Mr. Stern. Any discussion, additional discussion? None? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Engineer's report.
All right, got a couple quick items here tonight. Expedition Estates, our portion of it here. We're working on that engineer's report for you guys. We're working with Braun Intertech. They're gonna come out, they're gonna take some soil borings. They're going down to the depth of that pipe so you can see that soil all the way down to the depth of the pipe. They're gonna do, I think it's 6 borings along that road. They were supposed to be out here today, but they're delayed a day or two because their machinery broke down on the way here. So should see them here in the next day or two. They'll do the field work. They'll bring everything back to the lab. At that time, they'll then get us a report. We're not going to do anything until we get that report because that's obviously the biggest part of this whole thing is we need to see what that soil's like down there. So once we get that, we'll have some more information for you guys and we'll share that.
When's the last time that was televised? That section?
We did it as part of this project.
2020, I want to say it was around 2021, or no later than 2022.
Yeah.
So it's
Been a few
5 to
years.
6 years,
Yeah.
4 to 5 years.
What would that cost to retelevise that roughly? I'm sure you don't know exact number
Yeah.
off your head.
It's
but-
500 feet. Your biggest thing's just gonna be getting somebody here. It's usually about $5 a foot, but then you gotta pay for somebody to get down here and set up.
Televising was done more recently. That was in 23 or 24. That was last televised.
Yeah, because we did it as part of this project. We had them just hop over there and get another look at it. to see.
I thought it was more recent.
Yeah, in 23, 24 here.
Now the borings was in 2020
Oh,
or
yeah.
22.
Okay.
So they're gonna use a lot of their same information too. The nice part is they can compare their borings from when they previously did it to what it looks like now too. So they can see how everything's changed. Any questions there on Expedition Estates? Okay. Sanitary sewer improvements, they were out here the last couple of weeks. They finished the paving for that. They left that gravel over the winter, that last year. That was just to let everything settle out. So when you do small, deep spot repairs like that on sewer, a lot of times you get some settlement in there because you let it sit over the winter. It goes through that frost heave cycle. So we hopefully got a lot of that, most of, if not all of that settlement out of there. Then they compact it, they come back, and then they pave over it. So all that's complete. That wraps up all of the work that they have on this project. So we have their payout number 8 here tonight. This is not their final payout at this point. We have a walkthrough on Thursday. That after that, we'll take a look at everything and then we'll have a final payout, final change order for you guys as well. But likely, final payout coming at the next meeting or next month. So I have CC Steel payout number 8 for $40,203.
Motion to approve?
Got a motion by Mr. Weeder. Second by Mr. Polvitz. Any discussion?
Dave, down on 10th by the tennis courts, Did you show Grant or Jared where that drain is going down to Antelope? Where we caught that, is that gonna get addressed?
We're gonna put bag mix in those.
I'm assuming we caught that with the,
Yeah.
over the plow season.
Well, it's been peeling there for a long
Has it
time,
been?
or whatever. Yeah, we're gonna bag mix that. Okay, they fixed the one just a little bit west of it.
Yes, okay, gotcha.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Weidrich.
Aye.
Folkerts.
Aye.
Hack. Stern.
Aye.
Shipro.
Aye. Motion passed.
So as far as the sanitary sewer improvements project goes, their work is done. We'll bring you the final paperwork, final documentation here in the next meeting or two, and we'll close that out. Water service line, we're under contract right now to complete that work with the state. That contract is with the state, not with Hazen, so, we are helping you guys complete that. We have, I don't remember the exact number, Monty, but it's under 100 private services. If you look at the sheet, a lot of them are abandoned lots, abandoned houses, things like that. Did you include it here? I didn't put it in,
Did not.
yeah. But we'll look at that list again and see if we can maybe make contact with them, call them. We can send it out to you guys just to see if you know anything else. But if they don't have services, we gotta keep them on that list. I don't know what the state's rule is on that, what rooms can come, but, we've made our couple of visits and we'll just continue to monitor that. The public side, we used all the documents, but until they give permission to start excavating or something, whatever they give us the next rules are, we'll just wait on that stuff. Then asphalt repairs, Keller Paving, when they were up here for the sewer project, we had them do some miscellaneous asphalt patches as well. Typically, every year, every other year, you guys have done this where you mark them up, we work with Dave, and there's just certain areas of town where trucks turning, water sits, things like that, where they bust out. You guys have done a good job of addressing those over the years and not letting them grow and continue to blow up, so, we did it again this year. We had, several patches, I think it's 15, some of them 17, some of them were private, so because people had water sewer services connected, those ones we did as a part of this, tracked it separately, and then you guys were able to assess that back to the residents, so we did track those separately. And then we did some patchwork too on some inlets, because there were some sinkholes around those inlets, so they were able to address that as well. So, I have pay application for Keller Paving. This would be for $122,848.82.
So moved.
Mr. Folkers with the motion,
Second.
Mr. Hack, second. Any discussion? Mr. Stern.
I'm just curious about the private ones, I guess you said, there's a couple that were like private.
Yeah, Urban Coffee House and Stan Seibel
Oh, okay.
had new water services put in, so,
Oh,
so we
okay.
charged them back for
I
that.
see, okay.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, not private, in the city right away.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Folkerts.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Weidrich. Shipro.
Aye. Motion passed.
Okay, any other questions for me?
Right now.
Okay, good. Sounds good. Thank you guys.
Got our local raffle permit from Chalkfest and Chalkfest street closure. Two separate items.
Oh, well, did you guys want to approve the raffle permit before I?
Yeah, we'll do raffle permit first.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Hack,
Second.
second by Mr. Stern. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Street, Chalkfest street closure.
Yeah, there's our request for the street closure again this year. It'll be a lot like last year, you know, the festival has really evolved into a street art fair for kids. And so we need about 2 days to prep the street for the kids. We paint in the scene that they fill in. Last year, we create individual spaces for the kids to chalk and create their art in. And so last year we had over 900 of those spaces filled in. by kids. And some of them, of course, the kids did more than one, but we had just an overwhelming number of kids. But it does take quite a bit of time to create that art and fill it in. We have to put the special paint down, and so we'd like to be ready to go by Wednesday morning when the kids start showing up. So we're hoping that it would be okay with you guys to close the street at 8 o'clock Monday morning, August 10th. And then last year you guys were really great. You let us keep it closed until kind of end of day Sunday, end of afternoon. We have a lot of people who come down Saturday and Sunday and Friday. And so that's what we're asking this year.
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Bogerts,
Second.
second by Mr. Weidrich. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Is that easy?
Well, that's what I played for a while.
Don't play poker.
Well, the thing is, Pat wanted me to hurry up because he wants to watch the World Cup at 7.
I may or may not want to go golfing as well.
So we'll be back closer in to talk about a few more things.
All right.
She timed you all that quick.
How did that portable wheelchair ramp work?
Great, yeah. He was used by as many people to walk as, as maybe a wheelchair. But I think it was in the right place for us. I don't know, like we talked about bumping out a curb. That would be a different location. But yeah, it worked out great. Thank you, everyone. Yep.
We will move to 8A, commercial building permit for SMC MRI addition.
There's two different ones. They're doing an MRI addition, and then they want to do a temporary infusion renovation so they can start doing chemotherapy based on some of the different options there, so.
That's awesome, that's huge for our community.
And this has been reviewed.
Yeah, the city building inspector did review the plans that were provided, and he had no concerns with those plans. They're engineered plans, so.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? None? Roll call.
Shifra,
Aye.
Folker.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Weidrich.
Aye.
Motion passed. Permit request for the variance. Ms. Newberger.
Kilby Construction actually completed the permit
Okay.
application. They're looking to do an 8x10 entryway on the home that's located on Elbowwoods Drive. It would be in this general area here, but it does require no more than a 6-foot variance for the front yard. It would still be well behind the sidewalk, which is basically the property line.
Yeah, there's several houses that have that.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion by Mr. Weidrich,
Second.
second by Mr. Hack. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Weidrich.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Folker.
Aye.
Shipro.
Aye. Commercial building permit, for Sassy Sasquatch.
For state liquor license approval, they need to take the door out or the window out on the one side and add another entry exit portion, so that is what this is for, and since it is a commercial structure, they submitted the permit. They do have a lease agreement with the Hills, who still own the building, and have approved them making this correction or this renovation
And this is for compliance for the.
for the state liquor license.
That'll be on the south side of the building?
It will actually be on the east side, I
Yeah,
believe, where that
east.
window is.
North is.
Because the front of the building is here, so I'm assuming this is the east side. There's that one window into that
That's
little
like,
room.
okay. Yeah, towards the street.
Yeah.
First. That's where those garage doors are, right?
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it'd be on that same side where the
Yep.
garage door is.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Folkerts,
Second.
second by Mr. Stern. Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Folkerts.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Weidrich. Shipro.
All right, 2 reports. Mr. Stern.
So yeah, I guess. I'd just like to, I guess, just, I guess, to throw it out there. If we were just to do, I guess, a garbage in town only. I guess a manpower, slowly getting, I guess. I guess less and less. Too and stuff, the mileage and stuff that we, that's, I guess, drive every week too, we're probably gonna be, I guess too, I guess next year, stuff, just buying a new, I guess, a truck, stuff, it's probably gonna be about $300,000, so.
How long have Hazen done the rural area?
They were doing the rural before I started, but it's expanded a lot since then.
It started just out on North 27, since they were going out to the landfill that way. For some reason, it kept branching out from there,
From your residents.
as long as I can remember.
Yeah,
Back when I was in high school, it was
So pretty much do all the crossroads area.
Oh, way out there?
And we
all the
go,
way out to
we
RDO.
go to RDO, we go north on 200 up to that little housing area right around the corner. All them residents.
Are we talking over 100?
What's that?
Like over 100, do you think? Just rough guess.
No, I don't think we're that many. And we pick up along 200 from Hazen all the way out that direction too.
That's what I took.
Yeah, and I mean, with the additional fees that we're gonna be getting charged for the landfill, it's gonna have to go up. I mean, it has to come from somewhere.
I think the biggest concern is the safety factor out on 200 with the traffic.
That's part of it, and we're not getting any summer help or whatever, so that takes a big part of my crew when there's vacation time or whatever. We just don't have the manpower to do some of the other stuff.
Did we reach out to any, what's the?
I have not yet, no, with the holiday, I didn't.
Okay, yeah, I figured. I wonder if then,
But I can get the numbers as to how many are served and then get some more information from the other carriers, what their charges are.
If we do decide to do this, I'd like to do it a little more tactfully than Mercer County did when they raised their tipple fee.
I absolutely agree with you.
Where we would start at, say, January 1st or something like that, and give
Give
the
them time to
residents
find a
plenty of
different
time to
provider.
find
Yes.
a different provider.
just we're looking at doing this, kinda giving you a head, yeah, I agree totally.
Yeah, don't just drop it on.
And best bet is to have some form of public notice that it's gonna be discussed in a meeting, so that they have the opportunity to
Yes.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah, let's definitely keep that on the agendas. And not just make a rash decision, because it does affect so many people.
Should we put it back on for, say, first meeting in September?
What do you guys think? I think that's a good idea. We can gather enough information, plus now with hopefully mentioned in the minutes, and people start at least have an idea, and then we can start making the formal decisions after that.
Cause we had a local garbage company here now too, right? And then historically, it's been like Waste Management or someplace on Minot, right? There's Circle, yeah. So there's several providers out there for it too.
I mean, I would definitely like to stay with the, is it not white, what's the name, white chicks?
White
trash.
White trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had an apostrophe S.
That won't be up to us, that'd be up to the individual homeowners
Yeah.
to decide who they wanna go with.
Yeah,
We can't tell them, hey, you guys got to
Right,
use
but
this,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
just make sure they're not dumped on their butts and not,
right.
don't have anybody to go to, there's several provider services out there for it.
Because those additional providers will obviously be picking up additional, so they'll probably need some notice as well, you know? Anything else, Mr. Stern?
Nope.
Okay. Good discussion. Mr. Hatt?
Let's see, here. Monty, the shared use path repair estimates, you wanna hit that?
Yeah, there was a couple of spots that we had discussed a little while ago. Mr. Meisner did provide estimates to take care of those. This is by North Star Two Park, $1,750, and then the other one over past Birch Road going toward the golf course was $3,000, total of $4,750. Those were the only estimates we had received.
The one by North Star 2 Park, is that the one that's like super heaved?
Yeah.
Where it
Yeah.
was kinda,
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
a picture.
with the,
Yep, it's got the fence
on both
posts.
sides, okay, yeah.
Did the state foresters say it was okay to cut those roots out if that's what bulging that went up by the dollar store, or?
Yeah, she figured that would be fine to do that once they've got the cement off and get as much of those roots out as we can. She didn't think it would harm the tree a whole lot, but if it does, it does.
What was that second quote?
Second quote was $3,000.
Motion to approve?
Motion by Mr. Weidrich,
Second.
second by Mr. Folkerts. Any other discussion?
Did he say when he was?
Nothing as far as time.
Okay.
goes.
Okay.
No other discussion? Roll call?
Weidrich.
Aye.
Folkerts.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Shipro.
Aye.
And Dave, do you have anything else?
We're just still working on storm damaged trees, gonna be getting the sweepers out again here pretty soon, start picking up some of the stuff.
So we
Trying to
can,
cut on grass.
we can start another tree pile. We don't need a permit. We can do it on our own, property, city-owned property. So if we need to start another tree pile, we can burn it in place, not have to move it, stuff like that. So,
We've been pushing pretty good on the pile, we still got some room left over there, so,
okay,
and it has slowed down quite a bit now.
okay.
When you run the street sweepers, could we hit the intercept like 7th and 3rd? A lot of sand is I saw a motorcycle almost wipe out today. So, thank you.
And then we'll talk tree dump site on 11 down here a little bit, so.
Okay. Yeah,
So
sorry.
other than that, Dave, you had anything else?
No.
That's all I have.
Mr. Folkerts.
So all I got is, unless Monty, do you have anything? No. Finance, okay. So our new hire, Richard Norgren. So if I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, Monty, but, so we're gonna be, he's, to get his, license to do the driving test, we're gonna be using the, Harlow's agreed to let us use a school bus. But because it's a school bus, he needs school bus endorsement, passenger endorsement, all that stuff. And that's gonna, and he'll go through a 3-day course somewhere.
The last I heard, we were still looking at the online course for theory on Class B and passenger endorsement, since we don't
Oh,
need
so then we
school
wouldn't
bus.
even need to do that, because the only reason he would need school bus, because he was taking the school bus to do the test. Okay, so that might be an option. If we end up going the school bus route, that class is gonna be, $1,750, and we'll cover for that to get him through that. And other than that, library doesn't have anything, Monty doesn't have anything, that's all we got.
Okay. Ms. Reader?
Alright, with, police department AC repair and replacement quotes. Chief, head on that at all? Which one would you prefer?
There's black and white.
Which one would you prefer?
Brad's gonna be the cheapest.
I was a little confused by Brad's.
Yeah, we talked to him, he said he's not computer savvy, so.
Yeah. So it looks like he can fix the old units if we wanted to? Is that what it's
That's what
stated in
he's
there?
stating, yeah, he would just replace those blower motors.
So it's just the blower motors that he's thinking and that's it?
Yep.
So like the condensers and everything are,
Are we just kicking a can down the road?
That's what I feel like though too, cause I know M&A said they're pretty much obsolete, pretty tough to find parts already. But, you know, it's a huge price difference between the two. You know, do we just keep pulling along until we can't fix them anymore, or do we just bite the bullet and replace them?
Well, it's probably not gonna get any less.
No, it'll only go up in price, the longer we wait.
Monty, can you scroll back down again on those other quotes, please? Oh, and the other one, 13, no, 18.
So
well,
those
there's manual
two
services
are,
and,
Legendaire, the 18 and the 12,000 are Legendaire. And then,
And Brad's other quote to replace them was 6,000 each, so it'd be 12,000.
12,000.
what is it, 2 air handlers or 24, I didn't understand that.
Yeah, he just kinda trailed off.
Okay, dot, dot, dot.
I was super confused, I don't
I
understand.
think he was trying to break down that 6,000
Sure.
a little bit more, you know, the air handlers are this much, and then the blower motors and, or whatever else he's gotta do, but that's where it ended.
Okay.
Well, what, on that $12,000 one from Legendaire, what's that all? Is that 2 units, or is it a single unit?
Is that one giant one? Yeah,
Single stager.
3 ton.
It's one.
Yeah, it'd just be the one.
So you lose probably the lower level, which is foam.
And then on the 18,000, is there 2 or 1 also?
Only one.
That was also one unit.
Also 1 unit, it doesn't say,
That includes a heat pump and
should be a little more efficient.
Right, units for you.
Did Legendaire allude to any of their installation times or lead times that they're gonna need? Or Brad?
No. Not that I remember.
I kinda like the idea of having 1 unit instead of 2 units myself. A little more simple.
I hear it's kicking the can, I don't know about kicking the can. on that either.
At that route, Monty, do we have funds for that in the police?
not in the police budget. You've got the general buildings budget. Could cover the majority of it.
Something's gotta be done, it's gotta be miserable in there.
Is it, how is it, Jim?
It was hot today, not too bad.
Did you guys get a separate unit to try to cool it down?
Nobody's been busy to look at it or anything like that, so.
And they're not supposed to be in here.
Correct.
And I just thought of something too. What about these ones, like you would have in the homes? They don't
Split
have
units?
Like the main split?
Sits right up there by the ceiling.
Well, it'd probably be a couple of units, one for each end, then you wouldn't get the offices.
I don't know if those would run very efficient though, and I don't know, I don't know.
They are really,
I have one in my house and I love it.
Actually,
We have one, it's just,
mini splits have came a long ways in the last
The
few
bedrooms
years.
don't get it, that's, so it'd be like the offices
Right,
wouldn't get
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Unless they left their door open, which they're not going to.
good idea, but I think I like the idea of the central
Yeah,
area aspect again.
I like the option too.
I'll make a motion to approve the $12,050 from Legendaire.
We had a motion
Second.
and a second. Motion by Mr. Weidrich, second by Mr. Folkerts. Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Weidrich.
Aye.
Folkerts.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Shipro.
Aye.
Alright, then we got police department IT services, we added back to the agenda again.
We just did, Officer Blackstead just asked them to, what it would cost to get the systems up and running without signing a contract for continued support. So they both provided numbers for that. Armor Interactive was $862.65. NRG was $1520, depending on the time that it would take, so they're at $190, estimating 8 hours, which most of the system is up and running, is my understanding. It's just a matter of getting
Unless
it
you
to
just conservative, budgeted for 3,000 when you started.
So just get you up and running and fix this into the budget for next year, for the annual service.
In case there's any questions, something Ronnie can't fix, would we have somebody, if we don't have some kind of contract, they're gonna charge like $500 or something like that.
So what do you guys have at the county?
We do armor.
Armor?
I've not had any problems with them, but
And I remember right, Ronnie wanted the opposite one, what
Yeah.
you guys have.
I think we ran energy too at one point. But that was before I was out on the road, so I don't know.
Yeah, this NRG started under the Association of Counties
Yeah.
probably 25 years ago doing
Yeah.
this stuff, and then just kind of branched out. Cause they're estimating 6 hours, if you take $380 off of this, you're almost the same. You're not too far different,
No.
still.
I'll make a motion to approve the NRG quote.
Motion by Mr. Weidrich for the NRG quote.
Second that.
Second by Mr. Folkerts. Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Weidrich.
Aye.
Folkerts.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Shipro.
Aye.
Alright, we got several trees to remove. Sounds like one of them's pretty close to a power line. And then the ones in the back of the senior suites building, accessibility is an issue. Our guys are short-staffed the way it is. So, I'd like to make a motion to approve all these quotes. Approve these, like those 5 trees.
Well, yeah, there's possibly 6 to 7 behind the Senior Citizen Center. And then there's, a couple other ones, 3rd Avenue and Main Street. So we got 1653, $5,500 on that quote from T&M, 7,400 from Turn Street.
I met with TNM.
Okay.
TNM, where are they out of again?
Center.
Center.
Center. Okay.
They've done the last several, for us, if I remember right.
They did some for us this spring also.
This spring.
So we have a motion for the quote for T&M, tree removal,
And the other one was what?
74.
No second.
Second by Mr. Folkerts. Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Weidrich.
Aye.
Folkerts.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Shipro.
Aye. Anything else, Mr. Weeder?
No, sir.
Been out of town for a couple weeks, so I do not have anything else. Oh, HCD.
Movement at the Creamery Building, it is sold, and did I tell you that last month? I
You
can't.
said it might have been.
Well, she
And,
said it was, but she wouldn't tell us who
Oh, yeah.
or what
okay,
they're
so
gonna do.
maybe now I can. Counseling service, and as far as I hear, there might be like an activity room for birthday parties and things like that.
Oh.
And it is going to be great to see some movement in there. And Happy Gifts and Apparel will be going behind Jensen's Jewelry. Visited with the fireworks people today, and they were very appreciative of the waterworks building, but I guess there's like mushrooms growing and things like that inside. So, something to think about if we're ever gonna sell that thing, just saying. And also, I wanted to tell you too that we are going to go to the Economic Development of North Dakota Conference, or I'm going to, and that there will be learning from enhancing quality of life, meeting growing needs, things like that. And really, that's about it. If you guys have any questions, nail salon doing great. Sassy is very excited about getting their liquor license, and if you haven't seen, the Sassy Boxes and Bison are sponsoring a street dance the night of Harvest Fest. Out of our control, they took it on themselves, so there'll be lots of activity. And out at the Commerce Center, there is movement out there too. If you've noticed, Josh is digging it up, and it's getting close. August, middle of August, our jet will be here, and we'll be getting some personal invitations. We hope you can join us on September 18th for the special dedication. So I threw in chamber and everything in my report, sorry.
I don't have anything, I've been gone for a few weeks, so. Old business, down to the tree dump site.
So anyway, it's quite full there. We still then, I guess, have to pay for, I guess, landfill fees there and stuff too, and stuff on the stuff that they just won't burn. So then two as well, it sounded like other, I guess, a city, workers from then other towns and stuff would, I guess, it bring over then, I guess, over their, I guess, the trees, to here, so.
Yeah, it's historically been a problem, right?
Yeah. So I don't know if we want to start to, I guess, charge that, the dump there, or else we're gonna, I guess, lock it up or something. I don't know, I guess, what the answer is there.
Because I mean, we've discussed that before too, like how do we control that? Lock. Somebody come down with a giant hockey stick and the key attached to it, kind of thing, would probably be the only way to do that.
But during that storm, it would have been or after the storm, it would have been absolutely impossible, but to have an officer sit there 24/7.
Well, I think there would have to be an exception made during catastrophes and stuff like
I think that 30,000 is really off. I don't think too far.
What do we have to haul
You're
to
talking
landfill?
20 truckloads then, or approximately, to get to that $30,000.
There's about 50 truckloads, cause it's a little over $500, damn near $600 a truckload to haul it to the landfill.
Yeah, but I don't think there'll be near that amount of ash there.
The small pile that we hauled out last year was well over 25 loads.
Yeah, but that was over several years of sitting there, not
Yeah,
being
but the pile
hauled.
is the same size, this pile is gonna be bigger than that.
I don't see that.
But I've had a lot of calls from some concerned citizens too, that all the road people, different communities coming here and dumping for free because everybody else charges, and they're wondering why their tax dollars are gonna have to go to pay for these ashes.
I agree with you on that, but I don't know how else to go around it. Like, how do you charge? Or how do you say only city residents can without it being secure?
You'd have to, two things, in my opinion, put up a fence that's 8 to 10 foot tall, and then you'd have to hire a full-time employee to sit there every day.
Or electronic gate with, with codes and then all that costs.
Actually, you might be on something with that part.
I mean, I was told, when I told Monty this,
To get the code out.
What?
Could be calling Monty during the day, cause then after hours, you would be able to dump.
Cause I mean, I think there's systems where you can get, just like at a car wash kind of thing. You get a code that's generated.
So So would that cover the cost of fencing it in, adding the gate?
Electricity,
Yeah,
Which would have to be run out there.
internet,
Yeah.
or a cellular connection.
I mean, I was told of a tree service that did work up north of the corner, West Pick City, and hauled trees down from, I'm guessing somebody's cabin site to our dump location. I mean, I called you about that one, it's like, ha. You know,
Yeah, and I know that's happening.
Is there a sign, I can't recall, is there a sign out there that states residents only?
no.
I mean, maybe that's a starting point, maybe would we have to enact an ordinance or something like that stating residents only? And put a sign up there with a fee attached, and I mean, it would be one more thing to where, you know, law enforcement would have to be vigilant on it, but I mean, it's a start potentially right away.
How much do the commercial guys pay for?
$100 for a permit per year. I think your best bet is to just limit it, kinda like they did with the transfer station. You'd be open Tuesday and Thursday when we have more staff available, cause there's no garbage. They would have to check, and if it's not a resident, they just wouldn't be able to dump, then you don't have to worry about fees.
I mean, we'd have to get rid of the barbed wire fence, we'd have to put in.
I don't think so, if you just put in a gate,
Yeah, a couple gates, or a gate. You'd have to put a gate,
Put a
get
piece
rid
of
of
panel.
get rid of the barbed wire fence gate, is what I meant. You'd have to have something different than a barbed wire fence gate.
Yeah.
that would work.
I mean, it would at least start curtailing some of it.
Cause geez, if you're gonna try and get up and through the ditch and cut fence to dump trees, then
Then
we
go
got
ahead.
problems. We got problems, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I would, from a gate, I would also ask a different way, like a way for surveillance, to keep an eye on it. So in case somebody dumps a load in the
Yes.
ditch or something like that. Not a game camera, maybe something else. That, I mean, there are some pretty good cellular cameras.
Well, there are commercial, surveillance cameras that are cellular able to.
I would highly
I don't know, what a
recommend that.
ubiquity reach out there, like a unified, I don't know what the range of those are anymore.
A good point, cause I could see
Well-
somebody dumping in the ditch.
We would
Yep.
have internet at that, transfer station right there, right, or lift station, that's by
For
the
the
RV
SCADA?
pack. Oh, there's trees in the way though.
That's, yeah.
That's purely line of sight radio communication with City Hall on its own private network.
Oh,
For our SCADA system, it would not be interchangeable with like a,
That's not an open network of any.
Okay, okay. I didn't know
yeah, I
if
think
it's-
there's trees in the way anyway.
Yeah, or there will be, if they ever grow.
I think most of those are done.
Is the intent to stop people from trees or from hauling other debris out there?
Well, there is a fine associated with that. It's trees only, according to the sign.
But you
It's
burn
up
them,
to
but you
1,000.
just burn them.
But it's up to $1,000 fine if it's anything other than trees dumped there.
Cause like
I did
boards
have
have
to
nails and bolts.
Get after somebody else that was dumping like an old fence out there with all the nails and all that stuff.
And yeah, we do burn it, but then we still have to haul the ash out to
So
the
it's saying-
landfill at $50 a ton.
So it's also, yeah, the additional incurred cost of outside residents coming into.
Well, it isn't just for residents, I mean, I know a lady who obviously didn't clean her own yard, so somebody else came in and cleaned
Yeah,
it, she's a
that-
resident.
Yeah.
I own property in town, but I don't live in town.
Yeah.
I'm, you know, I don't know how you
Yeah,
I know,
distinguish,
I know of one tree service that did a bunch of tree work up at the, Sakakawea State Park, and they hauled all the trees back to the Hazen tree dump that they cut down. And to me, that is not right, especially being a commercial agent, you
well,
are
maybe, yeah.
paying for the disposal of those trees, but then you're bringing it here and dumping it for free.
Well, maybe those
You know.
people are the ones,
And there's a lot of that, though,
if
that's
they're
the
the
thing,
ones that are doing it. I mean,
that's the thing.
I don't know how you punish the local people.
No, and I don't think that's it, I
No,
mean,
that's
for me,
that's
that's not
not
the
the
intent at
No,
all.
no,
The
that's
intent is
not.
to create more access for the residents.
Right,
you know, after the storm, you could see pickups coming in from out of town all over the
Yeah.
place. From like Beulah area, people are hauling it over from Beulah because they didn't want to pay at the transfer station over there. North of town, I've seen a whole bunch coming from up by the lake somewhere, you know, private pickups and stuff like that.
Well, when it's private individuals, those are the same people that shop
But-
here
But
too.
they,
But what if it's a commercial, I can understand charging commercial vendors.
I don't think the county residents are the biggest issue. I think the biggest issue is the commercial guys hauling it there.
I think those are very large
Well,
offenders.
maybe that's who you need to target then.
Where either we up the fee for them dramatically, more than $100 to be able to dump there, or just say they can't dump.
And it's not a twisting the knife thing, because like, oh, you're taking all the tipping fees from the landfill are just increased dramatically over the last year. So it's a huge cost incursion.
And then there, up till a couple of years ago, when Doran Brandt passed away, he was allowing us to dump them out of his place for free. Well, he passed on, and we don't have that available to us anymore. And I haven't been able to find anybody that wants truckloads worth of ash, you know. Doesn't exactly make good fill material.
So, do we come up with a gate solution and a sign? Is that the next step?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
How do you think that would work, Dave?
Yeah,
Could be Tuesdays and Thursdays only, other than storm events.
It'd be a start. We can sit down and try to figure something out like that, or,
I don't know if that would actually.
'cause I know a lot of places, like Beulah Transfer Station, they're getting to the point too, where they don't take anything bigger than 8 inch because they don't burn.
Okay.
And I've even had some contractors ask how big the stuff we take, I said, it's been open, everything, and like all the root balls laying out there, there is no way to burn all of them.
Okay.
It would take forever, so I mean,
but then-
it's definitely a different year this year because of the big storm, but it's a problem that's getting snowballing and growing on its own, just because everybody that takes tree branches is having to charge for the disposal of the ashes are getting expensive.
Okay.
We're about the only
And the
three places
permit
around
is
the
just
county.
$100 for them to come into town and cut the trees, it has nothing to do with them dumping.
Yeah.
Okay, can you look into that? Thank you.
Yeah, well,
We can put something together for the next meeting.
Okay.
I think a little more research and thinking.
Okay.
Be involved.
Board appointments.
You guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Did get a couple notices of interest. The ambulance board president had a recommendation letter, and then there was a notice of interest as well from one person for the ambulance board. So, and then there was only one notice of interest as far as the library board, and the library board has one member for a 3-year term. No, no interest was expressed for the forestry board yet, so I would just keep publishing notices on that one and keep going until we get some interest.
But outside of that, all the notice of interest, we would have it covered with the people that filled one out, Monty.
Well, you actually have an extra if you take the recommendation of the ambulance board plus the person of interest. There is only one position on the ambulance board, you have 2 people, so you just have to narrow that down.
Actually, I will resign from the ambulance board.
Your term ended June 30th
Oh,
anyway.
okay, so this is replacement.
Yeah, your term ended.
Okay, in that case, I will make a motion to appoint the Borner,
Yeah,
Borner, and the one to the library board,
Sarah Miller.
Sarah Miller.
Motion by Mr. Weeder for appointments.
Second.
Second by Mr. Stern.
Could you scroll back down to, Waters?
The reason I made a motion for her is it looks like she has way more experience in the medical field.
Oh yeah, she's been a nurse, that's right.
She's 20+ years as a PR nurse.
Motion and a second, any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Weidrich.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Folker.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Shipro.
Aye. New business. Hydrocorp Court. What's,
Mr. Dowenauer is your expert on the proposal.
Yeah, that's me. So these are the same guys that actually did our water meter installs for us, same company. That's something new they're branching into. This is actually their bread and butter, what they do year in, year out. It's a backflow prevention program, hands off for us, but basically tailor-made for your community in general. They reached out and we were just trying to gauge interest in it, and that's something we've never actually had here is a proper backflow prevention program in place. Until about when I was taken over, the state didn't require much as far as that. There was a few plumbing codes here and there that said if you had this installed, you needed a backflow preventer that meets this qualification to be legal, but now we're at but then after I started, they said all public-owned buildings have to have one no matter what, and we don't know what the way EPA is. That may someday extend farther than just public-owned buildings. It could go, but for now, the main concern is water getting back into the system, having via any reason. It can just be a garden hose in your kiddie pool up back. If the water pressure in the system drops for some reason, it can pull that into the system, and it can contaminate the whole system and affect the health of everyone on the distribution network. So this is something every city should technically have at some level in place. As far as my research shows, we never actually had a proper one put in. I don't have any records of it existing. So then becomes scope. Like I said, the state only technically requires city-owned buildings to keep track of, but every single residence, cross connection, whether it's a residence or even like a yard hydrant in someone's yard or something can technically be a threat. And that's what these guys are for, is they identify all cross connections and make sure that everything's within code for the safety of the system, not necessarily forcing any installs of anything, just survey work, basically. So we know what's out there, what's safe, what's not, and who we might need to address.
Would they have to go into people's homes again?
They would have to go into homes to do the inspections, homes and businesses. The proposal they have on there is for a 5-year contract where they would do so many businesses and homes a year. They just do the inspections and keep track of that for us. They are very, they work with us pretty, like they really wanted to make it as hands-off for us as possible. So like anything we need assistance with beyond that, like if for some reason we needed to update ordinances surrounding backflow prevention that we want, they would help us come up with the language that would be appropriate based on their experience doing it. So to best fit our system. They also maintain everything, but the main draw here is to get a baseline reading on everything. This doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be at 5 years up, we rehire them and have them do it again. It's really just, we can get a good baseline to start this program and then maintain it ourselves from there on out. To the best of our ability, it would be a benefit to everyone on the water system.
So I'm just gonna add here, Jared, too. Even if we were to do this program and doing stuff, and I guess the law then is sort of changing like down the road and stuff, I guess we might be able to prove stuff that we don't, I guess, need, right?
Yes, so
Competitive
look,
ordinance.
Could go
look
the other way,
exactly,
Yeah.
I see.
yeah, so look exactly at the lead and copper rule that came into place. Now we have to look at every single line and prove that we don't have lead by identifying the line. Something like that, similarity comes around for backflow prevention. We have no paperwork. They can't prove anything other than the 7 or 8 properties we maintain. This way, at least we have a piece of paper that says here, we have an actual program saying here, we already have a program in place. This is what we've been monitoring. These are the locations. We know these are safe. We know these were risks at one point, they were addressed, et cetera, et cetera. So, don't know if they would ever throw it at it, but it's likely that could happen. It's kind of a very proactive step at this point. No one's coming and saying, get this done, guys, but it is a good investment overall, just because it is a health concern for especially a system that's never had any backflow prevention. Though I will say in the ordinance, there is only one sentence on backflow prevention, and it says every residence must have a backflow preventer. I'm assuming that's never been followed, because any house I've gone into to do like a meter change out, they generally don't have them. And I have only one good example of a place that a backflow preventer was in place, but was not being maintained or kept track of or anything, and that's actually at the PD. They have this tiny little miniature version of the big ones we use for like the fire hydrants. That one's hooked up to, I believe, the heating system, and that would have been just required to put in there by law, but it had failed. But you could tell by it just leaking water everywhere. Yeah, so that's why the floor's always wet down there. But so I noticed that, and I had that fixed. That's technically one that would be under our jurisdiction right now, but it's things like that. There's things out there that I don't know about that could be in literally anyone's house, and it could be a threat. So like, odds are like, technically it can happen. You don't know when, you don't know why. Like I said, it could be as simple as a garden hose left in a pool of water and pressure drops in the system. Or it could be someone's water heater, say boiling water too hot and then creating enough pressure to push water back to the system. And for some reason, that water heater also has some kind of contaminant in it. Well, now that spreads through our system and gets to other residents.
So let's say a survey's done and there's definitely an obvious need for it or whatever. How invasive would that process be? Is that the water main coming into the house where it's installed there? Kind of like is something as quick as a water meter change out type situation?
It would be like a water meter change out situation. Most likely is, say you have the standard hex black poly pipe coming into your house, probably just be detaching whatever it's attached to, put the backflow preventer on and reattach. Pretty straightforward.
Would this cost be at the cost of the resident?
I think that's really up to us at this point. If we make it an ordinance, because if anything that we choose to do with this information is flexible and at our discretion, we can again write an ordinance and change the wording of our ordinance and change it so that it can be, hey, you guys have to put this in. If it is an imminent threat, it is a high risk, because there's different classes of backflow. There's the high risk, there's the low risk, there's the, so even then, depends on what that category, depends on what type of backflow preventer you're allowed to put in. Some of them are really fancy, with three fail-safe options that basically prevent it from happening, and then there's the smaller version where it only has one fail-safe and then a main check valve kind of situation. So this is really just survey work. Anything we do with the information, like we do find some high risk individuals that we would like to see backflow preventers in, well then we would probably need to update ordinances a little bit and then require them to follow ordinance and install these things at their expense most likely. It's just, someone has to do the survey, and it's either me running around knocking at everyone's door during work hours trying to get into people's houses, or we can hire a team to do it over a course of time.
I think this is kind of at this point more of a budgetary thing, so
I
if
just-
we want to set this up and go, we would start it probably after the first of the year, understanding that this is gonna be our fees. And then the guy can work that into the revenue side of the water budget as well to make sure that these fees are at least covered.
On these two, the number of inspections, is that the number of inspections per year or total for that period of time?
Per year.
And then,
So that's where you're getting the difference from, it's gonna be roughly about the same amount of inspections, one's 3 years and one's 5 years.
Yeah.
But the 5-year one would be cheaper.
Mhm.
Per year, yes.
Per year, yeah.
Total.
The total cost is about
Total
the
would
same, yeah.
It's just how comfortable it's gonna be on the budget on a yearly basis. It's, Monty's in the meetings with me, seemed like he was more comfortable with the
The
5
total
year,
would be
so.
cheaper.
Yeah, you're either paying 54,000 for 3 years or 27,000 for 5 years. So
Right.
it is cheaper.
so what is the initial like compliance?
So, that confused me right away too. So initial compliance, when they say compliance, they basically mean going back when someone didn't comply to let them in, or they did have to, we did make them put something in, they would then go back and check to make sure they put them in. That's what they mean by compliance. Initial is just going in, looking, that's what they're expecting to find. Compliance, the return trip for whatever reason, whether
Double back.
we never got in or we did require them to do something within the contract term, and so they would then check it and update it on their database saying, yep, this is now installed at this location.
So, would you want a motion now for that, Monty, or just a recommendation for the budget?
It's up to you guys if you wanna do the motion and then plan, then we just have to make the budget. We would have to look at all of the fees that are being charged to make sure that this is covered as well, cause you're adding a pretty good chunk into it.
I don't know, I guess I'm not supportive
Or
of
I
it,
can
but
try and come up
you
with
got-
some numbers as to what those fees would have to go to before you make your motion, so you have an idea.
I mean, that might be easier to digest if we have that, if we were to decide to do it.
So how much is one backflow preventer average for a home?
Depends on the grade of backflow preventer.
Average.
So say it's a low risk double check valve, you may be looking like $160 for a testable one. If we're talking non-testable backflow preventers, they're gonna be much cheaper.
Monty, are the number of, water hookups, are they still around 800 and some,
We're a little over 1,000.
over 1,000 now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just seems like a lot of money for a survey.
Yeah, I would wait
When
till
we could
budget, man.
maybe, work on our own setup and just require houses and figure out how to fund it, kinda like we did with the water meters and just require it in all houses. I know that probably won't get all of it, cause you're talking about cross ties too, needing them.
So,
But-
yes, I guess it makes sense. What you're suggesting is technically just a step farther than just in a survey, is actually requiring it, which is absolutely an option if we wanna have a backflow prevention program that is just an ordinance that says you have to have one. But, then we also have to have, someone come in and install them all.
Yeah, who installs it?
So then,
You're gonna shut the water off to every house,
that's,
Well, you had to do with the meters too,
yeah.
so, and I mean, that's pretty easy. Most of the, well, all the curb stops should be working now.
there's gonna be some that don't work. I have a list of like 4 or 5 that need to be worked on, but, for the most part, they work, and they can be installed after the first check valve, so I don't have to run down and turn a curb stop. So that makes it easier too. Whoever installs it is off. And we know, for the most part, everyone has a working valve somewhere, because either I can turn it off or they've turned it off, and because of the meter install.
If you do some simple math, you said roughly $150-$160 for a decent one. And Monty said about 1,000 hookups. That'd be about the same price as that 3-year survey. You know, it'd be roughly.
We would still though, I mean, like, have to, like, do this.
This is that's best case scenario. Everyone, we fund it and everyone installed it themselves, assuming someone went and installed it themselves. That's a stretch to expect everyone to put in. They're just gonna leave it in the box we give it to them, right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, someone would have to go look at it to make sure it was installed. So then we get back to, well, who are we hiring to go install all these things that we want to do? And then we're probably back to the higher price point than just the survey. But I understand it's a really large number.
Do they make water meters that have the backflow built into them?
I have never been pitched one.
No? I mean, that would have been really convenient.
Wouldn't have that been a convenient feature? It's a backflow cover.
And then we would have guaranteed that everyone had one.
Yeah, so I know our meters actually.
I asked that question.
Did you?
and
I don't
stuff.
remember that.
Anyway, then the meter there is then it's longer. You know, and it wouldn't been a drop in. I mean, it's a swap, so.
Might cost a little more money initially, but.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, it's just like they also make meters that have remote access shut-off valves. Those are a little bit longer again, because they're not technically, they're not all in one. They're gonna be like, here's the shut-off, here's the meter, and then you can remotely turn off people's water via it. Same thing, it's not a direct drop-in, just
And
display.
these new meters are supposed to be good for 20 years, if I remember it. It's a long ways away.
And we will work with more to keep watching for grants if anything comes available to do this kind of stuff too.
And that's another one is, when it comes to funding, I'm pretty sure the clean water side doesn't get a lot of, doesn't get a lot of requests for this kind of thing, so they would probably be pretty excited for someone trying to start up a backflow prevention program, if the engineers were to look into it a little bit. Most people are like, can we get a water meter change out? And they kind of stopped that after us, because everyone started asking.
Well, Monty, can you run some numbers and see what we could do?
I sure can.
And just by simple math, the 5 years, roughly $30,000 less than the 3-year, but it also takes two years longer to complete.
So inspections would be completed in 2.5 years, that's you do 400 a year.
Well, and if you look at the fine print that they try to hide from people with bad eyes like me, it goes up 4% every year. So it actually might end up costing you more if you figure that in too.
So theoretically, these numbers are good for the 5-year period. This is numbers including the 4% increase. Final number, that's not broken down for you, but this is the price you pay for the 5 and 3 year. They did that math for you, put it on there, so it's not gonna be higher. This is the proposal, you sign this, this is what they expect, this is what you're going to pay, this is what they expect to do. It's.
Do you know of anybody else, smaller town that's done this yet?
So I haven't met a lot of people that, especially small towns, that probably bother with it too much. It's one of those underlying risk factors kind of thing. No one thinks about it, no one wants to think about it, just like the lead and copper pipes. Everyone's like, we ain't got no lead, and then the EPA comes in and says, you gotta have to check for lead. Like I said, it's basically just a proactive step for Hazen. It's just a mandated thing, and then we don't have the workforce to do it ourselves, obviously, unless somehow everyone self-reported, which we know how that went with the water meters. It's really hard to get a read on everything.
Thank you. Election of the Vice President of the Commission. How's this going?
What'd you say?
Not it.
The election of the Vice President of the Commission was on new business.
Yeah, as part of the organization, you have to re-elect a vice president. There are no term limits though.
I didn't have a problem doing it the last time, I mean, if you guys, it makes no difference to me.
I don't have a problem with you doing it, but out of all of us sitting at this table, you also missed the most amount of meetings out of everybody.
Oh, I know that.
You know,
So then
we
I make
did
a
have-
motion that Dustin Weidrich is our new vice president.
Motion.
Second.
Second. A motion and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Hack.
Aye.
Folkerts.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Weidrich.
Present.
Schifferl.
No.
Just as a point of clarification, so the motion was a nomination and
Gratification.
combined, is that right?
For the vice
For the,
president.
yeah, it was a nomination and election.
Yeah.
That's one, yeah.
That's, okay. That's
That's the way I got it.
trying to get it okay for you, but.
Good clarification. Thank you. All right, public comments. Individuals may address the city commission about any item not contained on the agenda. The maximum 15 minutes is allowed for the hearings. If the full 15 minutes is not needed, the commission can continue on with the agenda. The city commission will take no action on items discussed at the hearing except for the referral to staff or committee. Is there any public comment? Buster?
Yeah, just a couple of things. One is it was on the agenda, but this is kind of after the fact. But, you know, there's still a bad, spot in the road in front of the post office that should have been repaired. And I would have thought that when they were doing the work in the alley there, that would have been on the list. But it's not there, and it's been there, right in front of the post office, right when you park in the first, you know, it's been like that for.
They're coming out of the alley by West.
No, this is in the front, when you come to the front,
Okay.
the first stall. And you turn into the first stall, it's hard to miss, but, okay, but that's passed, again, the guys are done. The other one that I had talked with Jared about was, before the paving crew left, they cut the pavement, or the pavement was cut on Sunflower to add, when they added the pavement on Otter Creek Loop, okay, they had to go back. And there's still a strip like this. And I thought they were gonna get that, and they didn't, okay? It's kind of a pain in the binder when I go over with my golf cart, okay? No.
Do you have a license on your golf cart?
Absolutely. You know, the other thing that I, have a question about, and maybe it's not this meeting or this commission that deals with it, or the park board, but there is an extremely bad rut. When you go into the baseball diamonds over by the Schwab area, when you come in the back way, I don't know what street it is, but I bet you there is a hole in that roadway at least 8 inches deep, if not 10 inches deep.
Are you talking about the North Star?
Yeah, North Star too.
Yeah, off of Elbowwoods. Yeah.
Yeah,
We've been trying to
and
figure
that
out.
is gonna take some heavy equipment to fix.
Well,
And
because that street drains into there.
yeah, I know it does, but
Yeah,
it's,
there's one,
That's that alley that washes
Yeah.
out all
four
the time,
streets
Dave.
that drain.
I don't know of a way to fix it, to be honest, it's.
well,
But we can fill it. at
you
least
can't
right
leave
now.
it the way it is.
No.
somebody hit that going across with their vehicle.
Is that city or park?
Well, it's,
It's,
Is it on the street or is it
but
in the?
it's gonna take,
Is that an alley?
Area there.
That's because I've.
There is no alley, that it's an easement on the power line.
it will take some heavy equipment work.
To
This,
get into the
this,
parking
that
lot
has
for the
been a
baseball
problem
practice.
since the day I moved here.
Well, something's gotta get done.
That's a alley,
Yeah,
but
you got,
it's on
I mean,
park
there,
property. Yeah.
you can't believe how many, well, you know how many vehicles go in there.
No, it's
If you go in there,
That's
it's all the time, yeah, and it's terrible. I mean, they're driving almost close to, you're almost skimming off the R8 pole, you gotta move over that far. But anyway, that's all I have.
So
we
there's
throw
two-
some recycle in that for now until we can
Yeah, I
figure out a
can
more
get tomorrow.
permanent plan.
Wednesday.
Thank you.
Tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll
Just
check it
two
out.
things, Buster?
That's all.
Okay, they will be referred to staff or committee.
Okay.
Guessing it'd be right by the tree there
Yeah,
somewhere.
it's right in there.
Yeah.
See how that green line is there? That's the drain. It drains, hot drains in there. Right here. It comes across and then it comes down here. And
But I honestly wouldn't change the flow of it once it gets to the old North Star Park sign because it is washed so bad there, it actually follows that drainage down.
True.
Yep,
Yeah.
it stays there. It's, I just really don't know how a guy fixes that.
Is it deep enough for a culvert?
No, I think it's all
It
gonna
runs this way, Pat, and you drive in this way. So how do you put a
Yeah, it
culvert?
runs, yeah.
It runs across it, so like, probably the right way to do it is to pave it or cement in there and cement like a wash, like a dip, so it drains across into the grass. That would probably
That alley should have some.
or to put a drain on that corner
Constantly.
and that would be.
We put an apron on that alley.
Yeah, but even up the hill farther,
I thought that had stayed pretty good.
as it stayed.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
To the west
Up
side.
on the shore.
Yeah, they just had bored that or whatever.
Yeah,
back
that's-
to those
that
recycling.
seems to be
So far, that's
fine.
looking good.
Put a slab
Oh.
in there.
We'll put a Band-Aid on it, Buster.
Yeah.
Alright, the approval of the bills.
Motion to approve bills presented.
Motion to approve the bills by Mr. Weidrich,
Second.
second by Mr. Stern. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Weidrich.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Folker.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Shipro.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.